Now I'm going to speak on the continuum. As I mentioned earlier, awareness, attention, and reward, as well as mindfulness, heartfulness, and playfulness, exist on a continuum. The question is why, and how can we benefit from it? The word yoga doesn't solely refer to an exercise system that involves stretching, strengthening, and balancing the body. Yoga actually means the union of the individual self and the divine self in all. Elevating the physical body is just one small facet of yoga. In fact, in yoga we have other bodies. One you may have heard of is a subtle or energetic body. It forms the basis of Chinese acupuncture, Reiki, Qigong, and so forth. You may have heard of the chakra system, which describes energy vortexes in the subtle body that range from the Muladhara chakra at the base of the spine to the Sahasrara, or thousand-petal lotus, at the crown of the head. Many people have heard of the 7 main chakras and their physical and psychological attributes. What few have heard of is the Akatha triangle at the center of the thousand-petal lotus at the crown of the head. The reason being is there is very little written about it. It is said to represent all of creation, and it is sometimes called the Guru Chakra, the universal teacher who enlightens us about our divinity. Well, sometime after I wrote down this system, I discovered the Akatha triangle and realized the triangle of awareness, attention, and reward was almost identical to Akatha. In the Akatha triangle, mindfulness is described as the deity Rudra, the one who destroys ignorance and promotes knowledge of the self, or wisdom. Mindfulness represents Jnana Yoga, the yoga of divine knowledge. Heartfulness is described as the deity Vishnu, the sustainer of the universe who represents the power of will, of love, and compassion. Heartfulness is associated with Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of devotion. Playfulness is governed by the deity Brahma, the creator of the universe, and is associated with Karma Yoga, the yoga of action. In short, the entire Hindu Trinity is represented in Akatha, as is the Christian Trinity of Christ as Vishnu, the Father as Rudra, and the Holy Spirit as Brahma. They are all manifestations of one God in these systems. The vertices of the Akatha represent, from a top view, the main channels in the subtle body along which the 7 chakras are aligned. They are called Ida Nadi, or the moon channel, Pingala Nadi, or the sun channel, and Sushumna Nadi, or the fire channel. Believe me, I was stunned to discover all of this. But the geometric object I envisioned wasn't just a triangle. It was a tetrahedron, that is, a pyramid with a triangular base. Some physicists believe that the tetrahedron is the fundamental building block of reality as we know it. The base of this tetrahedron is the triangle I've been discussing so far. The top of the tetrahedron suggests a point where mindfulness, heartfulness, and playfulness merge into unity consciousness. This is an unimaginable state. Like the thousand-petal lotus whose petals represent the merger of all phenomenon, the top vertex of the tetrahedron represents the merger of the individual, that is the state of immanence, with the divine, or the state of transcendence. Sure enough, at the center of the Akatha triangle is the mantra Soham, which means I am that. In other words, we as individuals are pure divinity. Ham represents the individual self, while So or Sa represents the great self. This suggests that the gradual merger of mindfulness, heartfulness, and playfulness, as well as awareness, attention, and reward, into the top of the tetrahedron forms a continuum. And we are part of that continuum every single moment of our lives. I saw that the continuum has 5 dimensions. They are called the 5 divine powers. We also have them even as we bumble about through life. They range from conceal, where in the extreme the mind's 3 veils are thick and almost impenetrable, to reveal, where the veils are totally lifted. Between these 2 powers lie sustain, destroy, and create. Every day our minds experience conceal through not knowing something. sustain through trying to maintain a thought, feeling, or state for a period of time, even for a few seconds. Destroy so that we can create or experience something new, and reveal as insight into ourselves and the world around us. As I said, these are various dimensions of the qualities of the triangle in which our minds often jump from one dimension to another. However, there is a subtle evolution happening. As we move steadfastly higher into the tetrahedron's upper space, we must increasingly drop physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual baggage. Merging into the top vertex reminds me of Christ's statement, "It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven." He wasn't simply referring to material riches. He was referring to the baggage of mental, emotional, and worldly attachments. I will discuss these 5 powers and what they mean to you in the following videos. The advantage of understanding the tetrahedron and its attributes is that it provides a foundation for personal development and spiritual awakening in a very real, down-to-earth manner, because all experience can be understood through it. I call this tetrahedron the crown mudra. A mudra is typically a hand position that activates the subtle body. In this case, the mudra is not physical, but of the heart and mind. When the process of Soham is complete, our sense of immanence and transcendence become one. This state has been described as Satchitananda, or absolute being, consciousness, and bliss. It is the state of the great self in all. What's more amazing is, though you may not realize it, you are already that and have always been that. So on that note, have a wonderful day. Namaste.